What's up, world? You are welcome to Next Telly. Today, we're going to be talking about the subtle art of not giving a flip by Mark Manson. This book has been such a big rave, especially because of the name. The name is there to call your attention, right? But it's basically talking about a counterintuitive approach to having a healthier and a happy life. This book is wonderful, so sit down and enjoy. Okay, so if this is your first time, it's me, Nez. Welcome. Every Monday and every Friday, we sit down and discuss a new book. Then you can decide if you should go ahead and read it. In the end, the idea is to get you to a point where you can solve a lot of your problems just by picking up a book or being wise in general, because you read books a lot. Okay. Thank you so much for coming. If you haven't already, please subscribe, join the community, join us, okay? The people that are here trying to make wise decisions and make things happen, right? Especially in Nigeria. And, like the video and just keep coming by. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Subscribers. I should do a song for my subscribers, right? Should we have a subscriber name? Anyway, I'm not get carried away by what I'm saying. Subscribers, I love you guys. Thank you for always coming back and for sharing. Like, people actually send me a message and tell me, at least 2 people at least have told me that, see, I saw this your video, I really liked it, and I sent it to a friend of mine. Thank you guys. You guys are the bomb. Thank you for constantly sharing. I love you guys. Mwah, mwah, mwah. So today we're talking about the subtle act of not giving a flip. I'm using flip because mommy doesn't curse. I've cursed once in public and it's going to show on national TV when he shows up. But that being said, I don't curse. I never really curse in public. I actually don't. So I'm not going to use the actual word that was used. Okay, so Mark Manson wrote this book in 2016, I think September 2016, and the book did very well. He had a lot of rave. Some people loved it, some people really hated it. Like, it's like this around the world. But the thing was that I find that in Nigeria, like in my own space, people that have asked about this book, they actually like it. I suspect that it's probably more about the approach, because the word, the subtle act of not caring, that's the word I would use if I wrote the book, as a subtle act of not caring, like basically not sending anybody, not giving a damn, whatever, it's something that we all know that we all have to learn to do somehow. But somehow in your mind, you're always worried about things. So, but basically this book, let me just tell you about this book first of all. This book is written by an American for Americans. Okay, so the what he's trying to solve by writing this book, was basically trying to talk to Americans about the problems that they have and how he thinks it can be solved, personal problems that people have. He's of the impression that the modern mind has been over pampered. Like, it's been pampered a lot into believing that they are entitled to getting things without actually working for them. Like, you don't have to work. If you raise your hand long enough, dollar will fall on your hand. That kind of very typical. So it's like, he said, it's being pushed in politics, by the self-help genre and the media, and even even churches. Like, it's peddled everywhere. Anywhere that you go and you pay money, they tell you that you're good, you're extraordinary, blah blah blah. And those things have a way of making people start to feel like they're entitled to things happening to them. They're like, I'm a good boy, why shouldn't I get this? So some people, just because you're alive, you should get things. So that's where he's coming from. So today I have 5 things I learned from this book. There are several others, honestly. If I show you the book I wrote, this thing it's a mess. There are so many things I like. I think I'll up to 34 points I pulled out of the book. But I want to talk about just 5 because we don't have that kind of time, okay? So point number 1, of course, Mrs. Laptop is here. Or Miss Laptop. What name should I give this my laptop? Okay, so number 1 is, first of all, the premise. Learn not to give a flip. Okay, he said it's unnecessary to be bothered by what everyone thinks. I think at this point he was talking a lot about what happens with social media, where you put up a picture or a video on somewhere on social media, and then you get upset that people don't like it. It's not causing as much wave as it should. Like, people you don't know, people that don't really matter. Like, why is this so important to you? Learn not to give a flip. Now, of course, he said that learning not to give a flip totally about everything in life is a problem on its own, because that kind of makes you a psychopath. You have to give a flip about something, but choose what you want to give a flip about. Choose what is going to matter to you. Like, things that are tangible. Your job, your friends, your parents, your family. Do you understand? Those ones are tangible. Learn to give a flip about those. But there's some things that, seriously, people that you don't know on the road. A lot of us, we do it here in Nigeria. Like, oh, what will people say? People. Who is people? Who is people? Why is people so important to you? Is people. Why is it so important to you? So it's like, learn not to give a flip. Learn to just relax. Do you understand? Decide what matters to you, and then make that one matter more. Every other thing, toss it to the side. So that's number 1. Number 2 is know your value and prioritize it. Now, this one, he actually went on to explain that without knowing it, you already have a value and you prioritize it. Like if you're someone that gives a flip about everyone else, you're prioritizing the way every other person thinks. So it's like you have to be careful about that. You cannot let what people think about you be the determining factor of your happiness, determining determining factor of your value, determining aspect of your value. Do you understand? Of what makes you you, what matters to you. You cannot let other people's ideas. So it's like prioritize what matters to you. If honesty is what is a priority to you, then please pursue honesty well. Then you cannot, if honesty is important to you, you cannot now be somebody that gets annoyed when your friend tells you the truth. Like he actually made an example of couples that when a woman gets dressed and tells her husband, oh, how do I look? And she looks terrible. Her husband goes, oh, you look beautiful, even though it's not true. So it's like honesty clearly is not that important to them. And if in defining this value and prioritizing it, if you're realizing that some of your friends, some people in your life, when you use this value on them, like some people say that if I tell her the truth, she will not be friends anymore, or if I tell her the truth, she will divorce me. You know, some people, that happens. That's actually the reality for some people. So like if this is what you decide that is a value for you and it's enough to break the relationship, that means that clearly your relationship is founded on things that don't score, that is not your value. Yeah, so you have to decide what is or what isn't, and then find people that are like you and work accordingly. I like how hard he tried to buttress the importance of holding on to values, because without knowing it, our values are all over the place. So that's number 2. Number 3 is you are not that special. This I think makes me laugh a bit, but you're not that special sounds like mean. It sounds really mean, and it sounds mean because we all believe that we are special, we are unique, which is true, by the way. But the thing is that what he was trying to say here is that when you feel you're so special and everything is unique to you, only for you, it affects the way you also handle problems. If you lose a job, everyone loses a job. I'm pretty sure that some 500 years ago, some people lost jobs too. But you see, you lose a job and suddenly you feel like it's only you that is going through this particular problem. Do you understand? He was like comparing it to having a kind of mental problem where the only thing that can solve it is one particular drug that only one particular person can solve. So that makes you the uniquest version of unique, which I guess it's kind of cool if you're really into trying to be unique. But here's the thing: if you understand that there are other people going through what you're going through, it's easy for you to just kick it and be like, okay, fine. So this is not new. This is not this thing. You get up and get off your behind and start doing something about it. Do you understand? So it's like if you feel like it's only you, like if you lose, some people say, oh, you don't know what I've been through. I lost my mom when I was small. I lost my, and you find several other people that have very similar stories as yours. You start to understand that, okay, so clearly it's not specific to me, so I have no excuse. I think excuse is the word that I will use. You have no excuse to do what you need to do. So like you're not that special in the end. There's nothing very, very absolutely specific about you. And that's what brings about things like Great Depression and even things like suicide. And because you feel like it's only you are the only one going through this problem. If you can just open your eyes a bit and look around, you realize that you're not that special, especially when it comes to this problem. So this number 3. Number 4, your outrage is a pleasure. This is what I think I found very funny. He was talking about like the whole, right now cancel culture is such a big deal in the US. Cancel culture is like one person did something 50 years ago and it offends me right now before I was born, but right now that I'm alive and I'm like, let's say 20 years old, I am offended by it. Let us cancel the person, and the whole world gathers together and cancels the person. Maybe it's right, maybe it's not right. But here's the thing. Understand that the fact that you get outraged, you get so angry at this thing and you want to talk about it, I really want to talk about it, we need to discuss these issues, we need to, the more you do this thing, the more it's like a drug. So it's like in the end, you're actually enjoying the outrage, you're enjoying your annoyance, you feel very, you feel greatly in quotes upset about some certain things, but the fact that you feel upset about it is a drug for you. Do you understand? It's something that it makes you don't know that it makes you happy, but it makes you happy because you feel like, yes, I've done something. So like after a while, you even become a brand for that thing. Women against or children against, you become that thing. So it's like people say, when somebody now posts something that has to do with that, they'll come and call you ma, with your outrage in place. Wah. You come and you have to do it. It's a pleasure. Do you understand? It's something that you actually do to enjoy. It doesn't have much to do with being very upset about something, because here's what happens. After you stop being upset about this, you're likely going to find something else to get upset about or being outraged about, and it just affects, like, it affects the way you're willing to accept everything. It affects the mental maturity that you're working with, because everything that someone does to you is something that you have to clap back, you have to talk back, you have to speak out on the matter. Meanwhile, there are some other things that are more important that likely need to be handled. But no, you're upset personally, and as long as you're upset, nobody else should do any other thing. So it's like it's an interesting take on it. I liked it. I was like, wow, okay, this is cool. So that's number 4. Then last, definitely not the least, number 5, he said happiness comes from caring about something greater than yourself. Okay, so I think a lot of us already know this, right? But I'm going to talk about a quote that I heard one time while watching the Dalai Lama. He was doing like a conference somewhere in the US, and he was talking about the normal thing that he talks about. For those of us that might not know, the Dalai Lama is he's a monk. And he's very popular. He goes around talking about the importance of peace, how to achieve it, and he also, like, you see him a lot in some political circles and all that, also in celebrity circles in the US. And the Dalai Lama basically talked about how he was just talking about what he talks about normally, and this young boy, let's say 20 years or so, got up and was like, I'm sorry, sir, I don't understand what you're saying. That, okay, that you're telling me to have peace, I should just be happy and all that, but how can I achieve that, in a world right now where there's anxiety everywhere, there's depression, there's this one, a lot of people are committing suicide. Like, I have friends that have committed suicide, I don't know what to do, blah, blah, blah. And the guy was like, the Dalai Lama stopped him, which he never does. Honestly, he never stops somebody. At least when the guy stopped him and said that all I've heard now is you talking about you. Do you understand? All you're saying, if you can look outside yourself for a minute, understand that there's something greater than you. Do you understand? Have a cause beyond you, not me, my friends, my grade, my job, my life, my emotion, my head, my hair, my eye, my nose. As long as it's not about you consistently, think about something else other than you. You have a possibility to be happy. And the funny thing, it actually brings me to the theory of Nigerians being one of the happiest people in the world. They said that we suffer the most, suffering and smiling, according to our daddy fella. But here's the thing. If Nigerians are popular for thinking outside themselves, most times we tend to take care of our parents, take care of people, like some people have siblings that they're taking care of, like, So the fact that you think outside yourself, you worry more about, not like you worry more, but you're constantly thinking about someone else other than yourself. You worry about your parents. Your parents are in the village, you're like, oh, who's going to take care of them? As long as you're not selfish, it's not all about you. It's like, I've done my own, and you walk away. As long as it's not that, the possibility of you being happier, understand that there's a bigger thing beyond you. And they say we're highly religious too. I suspect religion has a great thing to do with that, because you believe that, you believe in a higher being that cares for you more than every other thing. That way, when good things happen to you, you appreciate it, and it's beautiful. This book is totally worth the read or the listen. This book is available. I saw it on several places on YouTube, but honestly, this book is everywhere. Every bookshop, check Roving Heights, check Pataba, everywhere you check, you will see this book. I'm telling you. Go to Instagram, check it out, or go to YouTube. Go to YouTube Go. I've said this before. Check out YouTube Go. Find the book. Listen to it on a very low data volume that you use. This man, he went on to write several other books, which I'm not sure I'm going to read. I don't think I'm going to read all of them, but this book is actually very good. It's very mind-jarring. If you listen to it on scribd, like I did, it's also available on scribd, by the way. If you listen to it, okay, if you listen to it or you read it, right, you have to just be a little prepared for something. This F word was thrown a lot. That's F-bombs were everywhere in the book. So if you're someone that has you're like, I don't like it, then you just have to be careful. I'm preparing you. Just a lot of F-bombs are in there. But honestly, other than that, this book is beautiful. If you can just go past that and listen to the book, I think there's a lot that you can learn from it. So guys, thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already, subscribe, like the video, there's a thumb there. Please give this video a thumbs up, okay? Remember, this month is still first anniversary month of Nest Telly. And then please leave a comment below if you've read this book, because this book was written in 2016, so it's like 4 years old. Leave a comment below, or if you heard someone talk about this book, leave a comment below. Let me know what you think. I'm sure I can learn something from you. Thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.